what a difference a day makes. Yesterday was slightly moody and windy. And today, glorious. So behind is Westwater. I went swimming there, swam the breadth of that. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago in a wetsuit, and I ended up swimming it 2.5 times actually. No, 1, 2.5, 3 times. Trying to work it out. Just because my friend that went with me, he I asked whether he was a strong swimmer. I don't know what possessed me to ask him that, but anyway, he got halfway across and started to panic and feel suffocated with his wetsuit. So then I had to swim back. I thought he was waving at me at first, then I realised he was in a bit of problem, so I swam back, put him on his back, put my arm around his neck, side neck and underneath his armpit, and slowly swam with him to the side. We were nearer the other side, so he had to walk round. It was really amazing actually. I never used my dive rescue skills until that day. That was like 10 years later. So yeah, it kicked in when I used it. Anyway, also with Westwater, don't know if you guys know, please let me know on the comments, but some guy drove up from the south, walked up to the top of the ridge, and I think I don't know whether he murdered his wife or anything, but he wrapped her up in some carpet and threw her down, pushed her down, and Westwater comes in it had a shelf. Anyway, I think some divers found and discovered the body and identified her, probably by her teeth or something, and several years later caught the guy. I don't know if this is true. I haven't had a TV, and it's something I haven't looked on the internet for, or haven't wanted. Maybe I should. But it's just a story that has stuck with me, and 2 people told me that. So one guy told me that 5 years ago, and then I heard it again 2 years ago. So I believe it to be true. I'm sure it's out there in the papers. But when I first heard that, the chef that told me was saying, "And you swam in it?" And I'm like, I didn't know. It was blissful, although I had to do the rescue halfway through. But and apparently there's currents and stuff there. But it was at the time in my life where I just went for a swim. But now the more I go into the waters, the more I look, observe, and just see the potential dangers, and sort of learnt as I go along, really, which is why I like doing what I do every day, because I can't share what I don't know, or I can't share what I don't possess. So I'm clocking up the experience. Anyway, we're heading this way for a waterfall dip. So I decided to go for a swim, the same place I went yesterday, but the weather was very different. So this swim was just after the sleet and hail that we had recently, so the water was very much ice bath temperatures, about 4 or 5 degrees. Being in a playful mood, I got quite curious and decided to explore. I kind of wanted to climb this rock, but as there was an undercut underneath, my feet couldn't grip any rock, so no upper body strength, and I didn't get very far. And it was that cold that I had to do the horse stance, which is the mastery of the Wim Hof cold exposure. So, back to today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the film. Curiosity got the better of me. I wonder if I could get any further than I did yesterday. awesome dip. It's like sometimes when I go for a swim, it's like a shedding or a letting go, or I don't know, it's just wherever I took to the mountain or the nature's just absorbed it, refilled my cup, and I'm ready to go back into society and and do my thing. So I really like that. It's been a rewarding dip, and I don't know, I always say wow when I finish a dip, or sometimes I do say, oh yeah, everything's just perfect, everything's aligned again, and then so within 24 hours I'm like, I need to go for a dip. But it's not really the case. I just feel more aligned, more balanced, or reset the balance. But I just got, when you're in nature, you just feel that everything will be alright. There's a few things that have come up these last few weeks for me, and does it really matter? No. Why? Because it's just me and my identity, and it doesn't really matter in the bigger picture. Not really any of my titles. So that's what I think. When I'm in nature, I just feel very humbled to be here. Not that I'm going to reinvent myself, but I'm not going to forget my values and my true purpose, which is to live life, not to have one in life per se. And yeah, it's very deep for Friday, but it's after a nice dip you do want to reinvent yourself, but not to forget good stuff that made you who you are. So not to forget that. So get the best of everything and mash it up and melt it into something greater. So that's what I'm hoping the world is going through when everyone says they're going through the birth canal. Let's hope so, because when you're reborn it's not so bad. I love it. You could say waterfall wisdom. I'm full of it today. Or I just haven't spoken to anyone for a few days and I'm waffling on. Whatever it is, I hope you enjoy the rest of my video. And here's what I'm doing. Then my critic was saying, oh well, you only swam the narrowest part. But actually you should just say, I swam that, full stop. It's a big achievement. I'm not religious. Well, the latest religion anyway, not one that involves money and power and fear. But ever since walking the Camino, where the whole point is a pilgrimage across, well, where I walked was the Pyrenees to Santiago de Compostela across northern Spain, I began to fall in love again with churches and the buildings. So I do like to stop and have a look, and I just smile as I resurrect some fond memories. Anyway, that's, I've noticed that every time I've walked past this week, but I just thought I'd film it.